Hi, boys and girls. We are continuing to talk about weather, and today we're going to talk about weather and the temperature and understanding the temperature. Okay, so this book is Understanding Weather Temperature, and it's written by Kristen Schutz. What is temperature? Remember, we learned that word yesterday. Temperature. Some days make you sweat, other days make you shiver. Temperature is the measure of how hot or cold it is outside. Measuring temperature. Temperature is measured in degrees Fahrenheit or degrees Celsius. Here in the United States, we use the Fahrenheit. Other countries use the Celsius. So Fahrenheit versus Celsius. If it's 100 degrees Fahrenheit, it's only 38 degrees Celsius. So that's the difference in degrees. If it's 90, then it's 90 degrees Fahrenheit, it's 32 degrees Celsius. If you go down to the freezing part, freezing in Fahrenheit is 32 degrees. And for Celsius, it's 0 degrees. A thermometer is a tool that measures temperature. So this is an outside thermometer. The thermometer that Mrs. Summers uses is a body thermometer, a body temperature thermometer. And she just points it at you and it reads your temperature from your body heat on your forehead. A thermometer is a scale. Liquid inside moves up and down. So here's the liquid. As it gets hotter, it goes up. As it gets colder, it comes down. The liquid expands. Expands means it gets bigger when it gets hot. And the liquid takes up less space when it gets cool. So it shrinks down when it gets cool. So when it gets hot, that's why it goes up. And when it gets cooler, it goes back down. Hot temperatures. Some places can reach 100 degrees Fahrenheit or higher. Hot, hot, hot. Here, look at this. It was 134 degrees Fahrenheit, and the low temperature was 62 degrees. Oh, this is Death Valley. Death Valley in California is one of the hottest places on earth. I have been to Death Valley, and believe me, it's super hot there. Heat wave. Sometimes extreme heat lasts for days in a row. This is called a heat wave. So in our part of the country, in New Jersey, I know it's if we have 3 days of 90 or higher, then it's considered a heat wave. People must not stay outside for too long. Heat stroke can happen. So if you are outside in these extreme hot temperatures, you need to drink a lot of water. Cold temperatures, freezing cold. Look at this, below minus 32 degrees. That means it's 32 degrees below zero. And the lowest temperature there is, and that was the high. The low was minus 90 degrees, 90 degrees below zero. Wow. In cold climates, temperatures can often drop below 0 degrees Fahrenheit. One of the coldest cities is Oymyakon. That's very hard to pronounce. Oymyakon, Russia. Oymyakon, Russia. There we go. Very, very cold. I would not want to go there. I don't like that cold. A sudden stretch of cold weather is called a cold spell. So if it's cold for a few days in a row, then that's called a cold spell. Wind makes the cold feel even colder. This is called a wind chill. You might hear that word a lot on the weather in the winter, wind chill, because even if it's just 60 degrees, if the wind's blowing, it might feel like it's 40 degrees. It's a good idea to stay inside on freezing days. And the other option is to cover up for the cold. Frostbite can hurt. So frostbite can hurt your skin. It's if your skin gets too cold from the freezing temperatures. That's why you should wear a scarf and hat and gloves, especially gloves to cover your hands, and even a hood over your hat, heavy coat and boots. Checking forecasts. Oh, we did this yesterday. Meteorologists guess high and low temperatures every day. Remember, meteorologists are the scientists that study weather. Check their forecasts to know how to dress for the weather. So if you watch the weather report in the morning, you will know what kind of clothes to wear, if you will need a jacket or if you can just wear shorts and short sleeves. Check the weather, check the temperature to see how you should dress for the day. All right, boys and girls. So we've learned a lot about measuring temperature in the thermometer. So remember, Celsius is a measure of temperature where water freezes at 0 degrees and boils at 100 degrees. Climates are specific weather conditions in certain areas. A cold spell is a period of very cold weather. Expands means it gets bigger. Fahrenheit is the degrees that we use here in our country. 32 degrees is freezing. Boiling point is 212 degrees Celsius, Fahrenheit. Forecasts are guesses about what the weather will be like. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And I'm going to go down here to thermometer, a tool that measures temperature. Liquid moves up and down on a scale as the temperature gets hotter or colder. So as it gets hotter, it expands and goes up. And as it gets colder, it shrinks and goes down. So let's go and take a look in our Google Classroom for what is assigned today. So you have this paper to do today, your investigation of temperature. So I am going to, give me 1 minute, sorry boys and girls. All right, here we go. Here is our assignment for today. And it says, what does a thermometer tell us about the weather? So we talked about the thermometer, and we know that the thermometer can tell us how hot or how cold it is outside. So the inside temperature, well, we do have a thermometer in our classroom, so we can check that. You can check your thermometer, your thermostat in your house to see what the temperature is inside. Ask your parents where the thermostat is in your house. It will tell you how hot it is or what the temperature is inside your house. So you will write the inside temperature here. Then you are going to make a prediction. What will the temperature be outside? Do you think it's going to be warmer outside than it is inside or colder outside? What will happen to the red line on the thermometer? Well, I know that yesterday it was very warm outside, but today it's not quite as warm. So I am going to make the prediction that it's cooler outside than it is inside. I think the outside temperature is, and this is where you're going to guess. Remember, a prediction is a guess. We learned that in reading, and you're going to guess when you make a prediction in reading, you're guessing what's happening in the story. Well, we're making a prediction about the weather. We're going to guess what the temperature is. So I think the outside temperature is, and this is your guess. And then you can ask your teacher, or you can click on the Weather Channel link in my classroom and check what the actual outside temperature is. See if you guessed right. And then you can fill in your thermometer over here with the correct temperature. So if it is 80 degrees, you will color this with red all the way up to the 80. Now remember, we use Fahrenheit in America, in the United States. So this is what the lines, the numbers that you are going to look at, the Fahrenheit numbers. We're not going to pay attention to the Celsius because we don't use Celsius in our country. So you are going to use a red crayon or marker and color up to the temperature that it actually is, the correct temperature, not your prediction, but the correct temperature. After you check the Weather Channel and you see what the actual outside temperature is, then you are going to color this in to match the actual outside temperature. So what do you think will happen with the thermometer? Will it be warmer or cooler? Well, if it's warmer, what happens? The red goes up, it expands, it goes up. If it's cooler outside, the red is going to be lower, it's going to go down. All right, boys and girls, I hope you're enjoying being meteorologists and making weather predictions. Have a great day.